I've got some reaction from both a Labour and Conservative supporters. Peter Edwards is the former editor of Labour List. Angela Epstein is a journalist and broadcaster. Peter, I will start with you. At least Rishi Sunak has outlined some things that he wants to hear. If I was you, I would imagine I'd be quite happy, because some of them are quite ambitious and, frankly, well, he's a slave to fortune now, isn't he?
I'm not sure he's a hostage to fortune, because they were so vague. And bear in mind, Rishi Sunak said almost nothing by way of major speeches for 3 months. I was very taken by both Olivia Utley and Liam Halligan's analysis, because they're not partisan figures like me who support a particular party, but they were both withering about the vagueness and the smallness. For example, on small boats, not stopping small boats, which Rishi Sunak has said is his priority, but introducing laws. But let's zoom out for a minute. We got Keir Starmer's speech tomorrow, in some ways a counterpart. We'll hear a lot more detail. That's also in East London. But on the biggest priorities, inflation, 13% in terms of food, we learnt today, an NHS that's in crisis that Prime Minister denies. There wasn't really anything to tackle either of those.
No, and that is a massive bone of contention that I have. It is the bane of my life as a journalist when someone just comes up and says something wishy-washy and there's no substance behind it, because actually it's a deliberate tactic. We all see through it. It means that you can't critique them on the specifics when it inevitably goes Pete Tong. Angela, I'm going to bring you in now. Angela Epstein, a journalist and broadcaster from the right, who would be fair to say, certainly further right than Peter Edwards, although that's not too hard. Is this a man just buying time now, Rishi Sunak? Are we just watching him buying time?
What else is... Hi, good afternoon to you both. What else is he supposed to do? I mean, whatever he does, he's going to be criticised for either buying time or for treading water or for all the other things that we could discuss. This was obviously a wide-ranging shopping list of promises, all of which we know need to be fulfilled. He's got less than 2 years to do it in. He's obviously not able to go into detail, and the devil will be in the detail when he can do it. But, you know, at least he has to show that he's trying. That there is so much kind of narrative centred around the fact that it's a shoo-in for Labour to win the next election, which I sincerely hope is not the case. And therefore, you know, they can either lie back and just take it, or just say, no, these are the things. We're in a state of such critical need at the moment. He has to be able to spell out to some degree what has to be done.
OK, Angela, I'm just going to stick with you before I go back to Peter. There are some hot takes on Twitter, most notably that Rishi Sunak does have Will from the In-Betweeners vibes, and CBeebies apparently is actually trending at the minute because his delivery supposedly was like he was trying to read a really dull children's book. Where is the actual ideology? Where's the passion? Where's the personality? Do we just have a robot in a suit?
Oh, come on. And what's Keir Starmer, the next pop star? As I've said before,
but
he's
tomorrow.
A pop star.
Are we asking the same questions about him? Let's focus on Rishi. Where's the energy? Where's the excitement? You know, why would you vote for him?
The thing is that we had all that with Boris, and I was a big fan of Boris, notwithstanding the mistakes, the serious mistakes that he made. And Rishi has emerged in the shadow of Boris, and therefore he has to sort of show himself to be statesmanlike, consistent, a stabilising force. Otherwise, it's just kind of, you know, Boris Mark II, but not a very good version of it. So he's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't. So I think if we judge him on the telegenics, it's a poor show. I mean, things that do make any journalist in particular cringe. You know, somebody asks him a question, he goes, well, thanks, Andy, or, you know, that overuse of people's names. But that's what politicians do. I want to see him deliver on the detail, obviously, and I jolly hope he can do in the 2 years he's got left. You know, the egg timer is moving fast.
Yeah, indeed. Peter, we'll throw it back over to you now. Certainly when it comes to things like halving inflation, growing the economy, these are very vague things. But Labour's, I can't help but think anyway, Labour's moment of maximum opportunity is slipping away from them, because the predictions do say that our economy is probably going to get a bit better anyway, regardless of whether or not Rishi Sunak's there. So he will have something to cling on to, and people do care, probably more so even than the NHS or the small boats crossings, fundamentally, about the money in their pockets, Peter.
Well, the pound in your pocket is very important, as people have been saying for much of my lifetime. But you're right, inflation is forecast to come down regardless of any further government interventions next year. But I don't think it's particularly about a window of opportunity for Labour, because, of course, we know governments have to lose elections, but oppositions have to win them. And when there's a change of party and a change of government, you need a positive narrative as well. So just the fact that the economy has been in chaos and the NHS in crisis should not at all be a cause for celebration for anyone on the left. And I think, to me, I've listened very carefully to Keir Starmer, and he has laid out what he would do, just like he's changed the party internally. But I suspect we'll hear a lot more on cost of living NHS tomorrow, because ultimately, or you're probably sick of hearing this, it's become a cliche, but when there's a change of government, it's because there's a vote for change. And that's what Keir Starmer will present to hopefully seal the deal.
OK, all right, both of you, I would like to just keep you on the line if that's all right.